From this day on, when you speak, speak of God's word.
My dear brothers and sisters, I welcome you all for today's gospel reflection from the chapter of Matthew 5, verses from 13 to 16. As today's gospel is the continuation of yesterday what we have heard, the Beatitudes, where we have learned or reflected on how we need to relate with God and how we need to relate with our neighbor, and ended by saying life should be constantly filled with love of God. And today we come a step more further where Jesus invites his disciples how to live a life which is worthy of him. And he says his disciples need to be salt of the earth and light to the world. And how can this happen? How can we, the followers of Jesus Christ, intending to be the disciples of Jesus Christ, can be the salt of the earth and light to the world? There are 4 ways, my dear brothers and sisters. 1, by caring for the other, loving the other, caring for the other person. And not just living with that, but we need to care for ourselves too. That we may not fall away from God. That we may not fall away from being his disciple, my dear brothers and sisters. And secondly, we need to live a daring life. As today we are reflecting on being witness of faith, we need to have courage to be the witness of Christ, to face what comes on our way. Thirdly, my dear brothers and sisters, by sharing in the sense, I remember during my theology days, one of my friends' father had passed away. And he comes back after a time to rejoin the group, completely dejected, shattered. He was in pain. And one day I happened to sit next to him, put my hand on his shoulder and talk to him. He started pouring out his pain. He started pouring out all his worries. As a result, after some time I noticed he was relieved. His burden was lessened. My dear brothers and sisters, sharing here doesn't mean that giving what you have. Rather, sharing the burden and pain of your neighbor and the other is also very much important in witnessing our faith. Fourthly, my dear brothers and sisters, prayer. And why I say prayer is, from the very early days of our Christian life, we are taught how to pray by our parents. I was taught how to pray by my mother, by my father. When I begin something, asking God in prayer. When I end something, thanking God in prayer. And today I can stand confidently saying, I gain my strength through prayer in being the witness of faith. And I ask you today, how about you? How are you trying to live a life, or how are you trying to live or trying to be the witness of prayer, my dear brothers and sisters? Jesus is inviting you and me today to be his disciples by becoming salt of the earth and light to the world.